So today I'll be reviewing the Weeylite WP35 here. This is a mini panel light, 30 watts. You can see it is color, white light. You can see I'm changing now. It does have RGB. And it pretty much does everything a modern RGB panel can. So how does it compare to other RGB panels? Is it worth to get the Weeylite WP35? This video will talk about this panel itself. I'm Richard and welcome to ZP Productions. Before I start, I'd like to say that this light is provided to me by Weeylite for review. So just a note that it's provided to me for the review itself. But that said, whatever I say is how I feel about this light, and I hope you understand why I think this is a pretty good light, but it's not something that I will buy many pieces of. So let's start about this light first. Now you can see that this light is literally a mini panel. Like all other panel lights, there's a yoke, there's a way to tilt up and down, and then there are barn doors. You can hear the barn door is made of metal, but not everything is made of metal here. The side here is plastic, the top is metal, and then the yoke here is metal, the knob is plastic, and of course the controls and knobs behind are obviously plastic itself. So it's a combination of plastic and metal, but this does make the light really light. This light weighs 1.3 kg, and if you compare to a 60 watt light, I have one here now, a normal 60 watt light like this panel I have here weighs 3.5 kg. So it's nearly 1/3 the weight, and it is half the power. I'll talk about power later a bit more, but half the weight is very important. It makes this a lot easier to carry, a lot more, I would say, less taxing to us for the purpose of setting up this light. Now, the back panel here, you will see this long slot, and this is to let you slot the MPF style batteries into here. You have to put two to power the light up, but you can see I'm using a power from the socket itself, and this powers the light. Now the interesting part is that it writes here 18 volts. Oh, I think you cannot see here. It writes 18 volt 3 amp, but I'm powering with just a normal V-mount 14.4 volt battery. So ignore the number here. You can use the light to its full capacity at 14.4 volts, so no issue there. Now there is a LCD panel here to tell you what's the setting of the lights, and then the 5 buttons. The 5 buttons are straightforward. This is white light. This is color light setting 1. I believe this is HSI. Second one is RGB setting. Third one is by gel, and last one is effects light. So effects light, you can see now is blinking, right? Now all the settings can be done using all these buttons, and then the 3 knobs here. You can set this whole light up with the LCD. So at least this light, the price is not really high. I'll talk about the price at the end, but you can nicely set up your light without any additional effort. There are many lights out there that has less controls, more convoluting the control. So this is pretty good. Now, one thing I want to say about the build aspect of this light, everything of this light for build aspect wise, for this size is fantastic. There's only one thing I don't like, is that the barn doors are really hard to take out. You see, I can use a lot of strength here. It doesn't budge out. The barn doors can be removed. I have removed them before, but they require so much effort to remove. So if you are thinking to travel the light without the barn door, it is really hard. But then again, these barn doors are pretty good. They work just like any other light in the market. So I'll probably just keep that on so that I can just control the light spill just a little bit with this light itself. Now, that being said, let's talk about the panel of the light. Now this panel here, this is 30 watt light. This panel measures 18 cm by 23 cm itself. Now this panel is not very small. Compared to a 60 watt panel, that is about 20 cm by 32 cm. This panel has a surface area of about 400 plus centimeters square. And if you actually do some mathematics to it, this surface area is about 70%, if you compare to a 60 watt light. So they didn't give you a very small panel. So you can actually get relatively decent shadows with it still, as you can see here. You see my light? Now wait, let me open the panel fully. You can actually see the shadows are not too harsh when I move my hand around. My main light is here, so you can see it's not that harsh. So it's a bit soft and nice. So that's the advantage. Now this light panel, I just want to show you, since we're talking about the panel now. is a frosted panel. So you do lose power with a frosted panel, but you get better mixing and better shadows. Panels without a frosted front have some weird, I would say, as leather-like shadow. So I do prefer a frosted panel. But this frosted panel doesn't affect the power of the light. That's the best part. When you do measure the power of this light in terms of output using a C700 here, and you measure the light like this, compared to a 60 watt light, this is half the power at 5600 and 3200. So you don't lose any power with a frosted panel. So it's great. The frosted panel is really fantastic. I mean, this shadow is really soft for a panel of this size. So I do prefer this, and since there's no significant loss of power compared to its power rating, I think I'm perfectly happy with this light as it is now. So power-wise, half the power compared to a 60 watt light. What about the color accuracy? Now, the color accuracy of this light, I'll say as for the temperature itself, it is quite good at the low end, so 3200, 2800, fantastic. Now this light is rated for 2008 to 6005, but at 6005 it measures at 6004, 6003, so it's about 100k lesser. Now 100k is nothing, compared to 6005, so don't lose sleep over it. But at the center, it does lose a little bit more. At 4000, it measures at 3700 to 3800, so it's about 200k off. While at 5600, it measures like 5002 to 5003. So that is about 300 over k off. That is quite a bit, and it is noticeable if you are mixing light. If you are using two of these panels, great. If you are using this panel with other panels, you will notice the difference if the other panel is very accurate or is like a daylight panel of 5006. So just to note that if you do not have a meter like this, if you are using it at 5006, you want to set it like 5008, and if you're using it at 4000, you want to set it like 4002 or 4001, just to get a more accurate light, right? Now, when it comes to the color accuracy of the light itself, I use a C700 again to measure, and I measure anywhere from 97 to 95, 94.8. The lowest point is 94.8 at 4000K, as you can see on the screen here. Now, if you lower the power of the light, color accuracy do fall. I lower it to about 10%, and you'll see that color accuracy do fall to about 94.1. Is that a big deal? Not really. It's still very usable, I would say. There's no harm to it. And if you really need the low power, you will just use it anyway. So 10% is very dim. The only time I can use 10% if I want to shoot like city lights. I just want to have the city in the frame, and I'm willing to go very low shutter speed, or if I'm doing video, to jack the ISO up significantly, like jumping to the second ISO on A7S3 to 12800. Yeah, 10% is more than enough. But if not, 10% is very dim. And normally, even for night city video shoots I did with this light, I still need to go like 30% to 40% to make it usable. So this light itself, that's really about it. In terms of the quality of the panel, it's pretty okay. Definitely comparable to almost any professional brand panel itself. You just need to know that the color temperature is lower than expected compared to the number written on it. So now, this reaches the very last part of this segment, and that is the application or the wireless control, depending on how you want to put it. I really love Weeylite's implementation of wireless control. I just have to say it again. I reviewed Weeylite a few times. I mean, you have seen other videos, and I think I didn't change really on my stance on Weeylite wireless control. It's very responsive. So I just put my phone here. This is the Weeylite app. Look at how fast it changes color, how fast it changes brightness, how fast it goes from white light to color light, then to FX. It's fast, and there's no lag. There's no setup also. Just now I've been talking to you guys, my phone went to sleep, wake up, boom, controls. The way Weeylite configures their wireless is like how Flash is done through channel and groups, rather than trying to identify individual lights. And this makes it so quick. I mean, there is 6 groups here. You can play around multiple channels. If you want to control more than 10 lights and all the lights have to be different, yep, I think Weeylite won't work for you. If you're going for a true professional setup, every light with a slightly different number, Weeylite don't work for you. But for most people who's going to buy this light, you're going to probably have at most like 6 of them anyway. So I don't think you have to sweat away it. the channel and group method controlling the light is fast and I would say superior for the purpose of the general consumer. It's just easier to understand anyway. And if you are doing special effects, well, all the lights can be the same channel because brightness is all the same for the special effects lights. So that's something really. Now, I love the Weeylite wireless control. I love the application. The only thing I don't like is the effects are a bit limited. I'll say as the parameters are limited, but other than that, Weeylite is perfectly fine. Now, there is one last thing before I end this video, and that is the portability of this thing. This thing, for the size, fits nicely into my drag bag, my camera drag bag. So this fits nicely into a 16-inch laptop slot. Great, right? I mean, I just had to drop it into my bag and I can carry it around. So I can have a panel light carry around with my camera without incurring any additional baggage or space. So that is great, man. I really love the size of this light. This is like got sent to fit into my 16-inch camera bag. And then now the price. Now this costs 129 USD. This makes it about less than half the price for compared to most professional RGB lights, and slightly less than half the price if you compare to cheaper RGB lights of 60 watts. So at 30 watt range, I think this is relatively unique. There's not many lights at 30 watt. You know, the comparable ones are like the light tubes, which gives a different thing. I mean, this has soft shadows if you shoot close, and even when you shoot far, the shadows won't be too harsh because it's a relatively big panel compared to a tube light. So I think that it's just so much perks to this light. $129 is pretty worth to actually purchase this light itself. Now, if you ask me personally, I will actually purchase 2 of these lights. I've purchased a lot of Weeylites. Anyway, as I said, this is provided to me by Weeylite for the review, but let me show you this video. I have a lot of Weeylite tubes. I mean, they didn't give me any of these. I love it because they are so easy to control and they are just damn cool for this video itself. So Weeylite, I would say, is a very good consumer light. If you just need to control that many lights with that many channels, Weeylite gets the job done and it is very reliable for it. So that's really about it. $129 US for a light like this is pretty good. I think there's one thing I didn't talk about, and that is the package. The Weeylite, being an affordable light, comes with very little things. The light, the charger, and the adapter head. This box here is nothing inside, it's just foam. There is no carrying bag. So you have to consider that, you know, when you are buying this light, you have a way to carry it. And luckily, this fits into my 16-inch laptop slot. So I'm more than happy for this light. And really, that's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed this short little review of the Weeylite WP35. Definitely a light that is worth buying if you just need 30 watts of light. If you're doing night video shoots, night photo shoots, this is a light that you can consider. Alternatively, is that you want to consider some COB lights and then bring the softbox, but this is just convenient to bring. I mean, it slots nicely in your bag. 1.3 kg, I mean, this is lighter than my Elinchrom one and lighter than my Godox AD300. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.